Good evening, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 229. We'll be talking about ladies and other things tonight, and things that sound better with you. As per usual, if you have an answer and or a question and or topic that you want answered, Super Chat will guarantee that. Go to Skinny Play, and I'll put the promo code in and buy yourself something nice. Like and subscribe. Also, Henrik's channel is down below if you haven't subscribed to that yet.
Henrik is always down below.
That's right.
Well,
right.
Well, you're on top now.
My boy.
The audio only version will be on Substack later tonight. So if you're only into audio of us and don't want to see our faces, that's available too. And I think we're about there. How's everybody been?
Good. Been working now, so it was pretty interesting to see, how installs are done here. But yeah, we were sent out to a job, like it's all third-party stuff, and it was the grossest place I've ever seen, man. Like literally, in an hour that we've been there, it was 3 of us because we just happened to be godsend. That dude smoked 15 cigarettes.
When you were there?
Yes.
Wow.
15 cigarettes in 1 hour. Then it took us to set up the amp and shit. And bro, I'm telling you, like, I've never seen this in my life. Like, he just moved into this apartment, apparently. I don't understand French. I don't know what the fuck these guys are saying, but I'm looking around like, wow, this guy is terrible. And like literally, like we bought the TV, like those default like cabinets you get from like IKEA or whatever that has the front glass, like dark glass panel, right? So you can hide your equipment in it. It was literally like candle wax dripping down, and there was so much tar on everything. I've never seen this. It was and like this was there's no way that anybody that from all 3 of us will ever go there for a service call. And that was so gross. Oh, Christ on the cross. But yeah, so that was the highlight of the week, I guess, as far as like I've never if this was something that I would do like in Calgary, I would turn around and walk away. I'd give the guy the money back and walk away. Like they signed the check, and there was literally a fingerprint of nicotine stain on like where he was holding it to, like with the pen.
But 15 cigarettes an hour.
In an hour, bro.
You must have been able to see him slowly dying when you were there.
I think he's already halfway there, but I don't know. Smoked meat lasts longer, I guess. I don't know. This guy it was absolutely. He's like, do you mind if I smoke? And what are you going to tell the guy in his own house, right? But I should have been that fucking Karen. Is like, yes, I do mind that you smoke. And he probably would have smoked only 2 cigarettes instead of 15. But yeah, that was, man, like I got out of there. It was like literally we were there for an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. No, I wasn't there for that long. I just pushed it together and ran away quickly outside. And I stunk. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever done. Gross. Like gross. Like all the cables that he had, like existing ones, like RCAs and shit, they looked like they were honey glazed. That's how much tar was on them. It was sick.
Like soaked in barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's like one of those that you left it in the sun for a while, so it's nice and sticky. Oh, it was a nightmare. I don't like that's a mental issue of some sort that you have to have in order to live like that. But I just that was the pinnacle of disgusting. So,
how's your week been, Henrik? Was it cleaner?
Well, it was a bit cleaner, but then again, very much dirty as well, because, I mean, I tried to think about the last time I was on the show, it was with Sandeep, and we were talking about sports rights and stuff, and when I got off the call, I was like, so how can I fuck with his life more than just being here tonight, and I know that he's watching the stream, so I thought, let's not postpone to take over the market in the UK. Let's just move forward. So I've actually been like working my ass off. So saying deep, 1st of October, we're in UK. So good luck, buddy. But it's been a pain in the ass. I mean, it's been a lot of work. Last week, my kid was sick and throwing up all over the place, so I had to cancel pretty late. Hope that was okay, but I think that Heidi wouldn't think it was a very good thing just for me to get into the office and talk to you guys. We got puke everywhere, so I had to take care of that. But otherwise, it's just been a week with a lot of work, a lot of overtaking over the world, in UK particularly right now. I thought that would be fun, just to move that. The plan was next year, but when we talked with Saint Deep last time I was here, I was like, man, let's do this. So yep, we did it. So the streaming provider and the channel in UK Premier Sports will be ours on the 1st of October. So we bought it. So that's fun. Yeah. What have I been up to? I've been to the theater unveil in Denmark.
Nice.
Yeah, some Danish people on the Discord, people joined the Discord, were saying that you weren't that super happy about things.
No. I mean, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. I mean, I do think the 55-inch looks stupid. I think the 77-inch looks vulgar. I think the 65-inch is a sweet spot, like the 77 Harmony. It is the sweet spot. So then there is taking into consideration that you can only put the 55 and 65 on the wall. The 77 needs to be on floor stand, but the wall mount for that thing where you get this aluminium stuff underneath the speaker, I don't think that does anything good for the speaker. It looks uneven.
On the wall bracket, you mean?
Yeah. On the wall bracket, you'll get like, and it's like.
Well, it's covering the big fuck off rail underneath it, right?
So, I mean, it's like this big.
I just thought the gap was gonna be smaller between the bottom of the theater and like the wall bracket, because it is about a mil at least. It's not 2 millimeters.
But then you get like, I think it's about 6.5, 7 centimeters of aluminium underneath if you put it on a wall bracket, and it looks a bit off in my opinion. Then I still haven't seen a 77-inch where the gaps on the left and the right side match up. I've seen it on the 65-inch, but not on the 77.
What do you mean?
It's like if you see the video I did, I know that it's in Danish, but there is some gaps.
Alignment?
Yeah, between the left and the right side, and I've only seen this on the 77-inch, not on the 65. But it should be a installation issue, but it should be manageable.
Were the ones you saw pre-production units, or
I don't know. I mean, the problem for me right now is that I don't believe anything they say at the moment. Talking about the Halo, talking about the B remote ones, talking about all these issues with making sure that everything is aligned, everything is into QC. And right now I'm just watching the 77, and it's all of them are off. Then I really don't like that you want to show off a movie theater speaker and all the TVs are set to economic, like eco mode.
Oh God.
I'm just like, I mean, you should. I mean, this is B&O themselves. They need to showcase the best they can do. And they invite all the dealers in Denmark to this event, like every dealer. And they should showcase this object as best as possible, in my opinion. And they didn't even go into the TV settings. I'm not saying they should calibrate all the TVs on stage and on the perimeter. I'm just saying go with your own white paper that says go into theater mode, warm 1 or warm 2, whatever, and depends on the scenery. But they didn't do that. And if they don't do this, how can I be sure that they actually calibrate the soundbar to the environment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard a musical number. On screen right now, you can see that big thing underneath when you're talking about the mount for the wall. And in my opinion, I'm just like, that sucks. Okay, so I listened to a piece of music, and it was very a musical kind of thing. It sounded very, very good. Then I listened to the movie that they're B&O just been fucking over all over the place, Bohemian Rhapsody, and the new James Bond. And I was like, this really, really sucks. I mean, I wasn't amazed at all. Like, at all. The sound from the voices was muffled. The experience was bad. The stereo perspective was bad. Everything was bad. But you have to take into consideration that there's like 7, 8, 10 meters to the ceiling.
Yeah.
The floor is concrete. All the walls are concrete. So
See, I don't understand why B&O does it to themselves. Well, they always introduce the product in an environment that is so unrealistic to what it's supposed to sound like. Because you know what I mean? Like, you don't have that in your house.
No, I mean, when I talk with a lot of people there and asked them, so, and not to be biased or anything, I just asked them before I said anything, because I know that if I say something, then they will maybe take my words in their mouth and try to say the kind of the same thing. So I just asked blunt, so what do you think about it? And 80% of the people I talked to was disappointed. And they were disappointed about the sound, the width of the sound stage, and the performance. And I don't believe that it is true that it is like this. So I need to go to the dealer, and then they're gonna close down the shop for me, and we're gonna talk about the TV, and I'm gonna do my own experience of the TV, because it can't be that bad as I experienced in that room.
It's not.
I don't believe so.
I don't believe it either. I just don't believe that at all.
Last week we went over. I went to go see it, and it was in a room with 90s as front and 28s as rears, and even by itself, it sounded amazing. Like, it sounded exactly like the marketing material was written. Like,
Okay.
the bass is 28, like the tweeter, and mid range is so similar to 50s. It sounds like 50s.
Yeah, that was not what I experienced.
But
on the other hand, I also have to take into consideration that maybe they didn't calibrate the soundbar as they didn't do it with the TVs. I mean, you don't know what you get into when they do this kind of shit show, in my opinion.
That sounds like it was just out of the box turned on.
Exactly.
Is it almost weird though, because this room seems really large, and if they calibrated it at all, there were probably, I don't know, 50 people less in it when they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is very suboptimal.
Or maybe 70 people less, yeah.
Yeah, but that should then just improve on the echo when the people are there, right?
Yeah, but when you calibrate it for the echo and then you take all the echo out, it's going to sound weird.
Yes.
I mean, I was very disappointed, but I was disappointed in the whole experience of the TV. I mean, first of all, they talked about the TV. That was great. They talked about how they did it. Then they had a guy talking about, it was a movie director talking about how important sound is in a movie. But he was like 80 years old, and he showcased some 4x3 content on the TV, and the sound sounded so bad on the TV. And furthermore, he used 1.5 hours to talking about this, and we were sitting on chairs, and our asses was hurting like hell because it was very bad chairs. And every time I looked at the B&O guys, I could see that they didn't know that he would talk so long about this. So every time they were like, "Oh, now we're gonna watch this scene from this movie," all from B&O was just like, "Oh fuck, this sucks." And he just kept on going. And I mean, some of it was very funny. Some of it was like, why am I listening to this? And people actually start walking out of the room. And
that's a good sign.
afterwards, we had dinner and dessert, and then we went with our respective dealers to watch the TV from ourselves. And that was when I got the very bad experience. And then I need to state the elephant in the room. There's an elephant actually in the picture, but the elephant in the room is the price of the floor stand and the wall mount. I mean, that is just way too crazy in my opinion.
Yeah, the floor stand is pretty much the most expensive floor stand they've ever made.
Oh yeah.
That is beautiful.
It is. But the price is the same price as, this is the gap that you can see that it goes a bit out to the left in the bottom, and here it is straight when you look at it, right? But I mean, the price point is the same price as a 65-inch G2 panel for a freaking floor stand or a wall mount.
Yeah, but you're gonna have that forever, dude. Quite honestly, like if you think about it, you're just changing panels from now on thereafter, and maybe internal board if they're gonna come up with something different.
You won't have it forever. I mean, Willie, the problem is that we did it with the BV7 stain, right? We reused that for everything, but the BV10 and 11 stain we didn't reuse for anything. And this is something that you need to sell with the TV.
No, I understand it, but I'm just saying, like, you can just swap the displays over top of the theater, so who cares?
But that's a difference. That's a different wall. That's a different bracket. That's not the floor stand, because there is a bracket besides this that you connect to this the Beosound Theatre to have base amount, and that's is right. 1,000 euros.
Yeah, that's somewhat reasonable.
Although, but that is also something that they took into patent. So it's actually very well built that you can move everything around like very, very closely and very small amounts at a time. So I really like that. But I just don't. I mean, I don't know how much it is in euro, but it's 25,000 Danish kroner. It's a small car in Denmark. I can't tell my wife I bought a wall mount for our TV that cost the same amount of a car.
Yeah, it's 2,800 euro for the floor stand, and I think the same for the wall bracket.
It's like a balance. It's more expensive than a balance.
I mean, it's 3,333 euros.
Oh, it's more expensive than it's here.
But that's the list price in Denmark.
Yeah.
Look at this. This thing is so awesome. The finish on it. I absolutely dig it.
He sleeps with it now.
Bro, I'm getting rid of my levels, man. I'm keeping the balance, I think. Not I think, but that's just where it's at. I love what the bass sounds like out of the balance versus the level. Level is a
Yeah.
little bit more shallower and punchier and like coffee, I guess.
It's a smaller
But
driver.
of course, the smaller enclosure and everything, and yeah, it's battery powered. But maybe this. I have two of them, so I can still get rid of one. And I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get me this. The silver one is sweet.
I'm with
By far
Sandeep
the nicest balance.
on this with the theater, by the way. It's like just wall mounted separated, and you forgo most of the price. And
But that is true. That is totally true. But the problem with this is that, in my opinion, when you take the theater and wall mount a screen with a gap on top of it, I just think that it looks like crap.
Did you get to see the installation video that B&O has internally?
Yeah.
Right? They left the cables fucking running on the wall. Like that looks actually bad.
Yep.
That looks actually bad because I commented on when I saw it. I'm like, and you fucks left the goddamn wire going out. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. But I mean,
I personally don't think it looks bad. I think it actually looks quite nice in that picture.
Well, it depends, but I'm just saying that the install they've done, it was horrible. But I think that if I were to do the separate screen from the stage, it would be over 80-inch TV. It would be something massive.
That's what I did.
Right? No, but seriously, because then it doesn't look that weird.
No, I mean, that's literally what I did. I ordered an 83-inch screen and a 65-inch theater.
Fuck, did you?
Yes.
So so you're getting rid of the harmony now?
Yes.
Fuck. I guess it's dual voltage, so who cares? It's much easier to deal with.
I mean, it needs to be bigger. Stuff needs to be bigger.
Bigger. Jesus Christ on the cross, man.
I mean,
so what are you gonna take the goddamn TV with you to States as well, or no?
Yeah.
Is that dual voltage or no?
Yes, actually, the C2 for sure is. I don't know if this panel is on the C9. Could be. But the only thing that kind of doesn't work is the free over-the-air stuff in the US. But I found an antenna that you can plug into your regular antenna, and it integrates with Plex. So you have one antenna receiver, and then you can just watch normal over-the-air TV on all your Plex servers or your clients.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah, I'll have an 83-inch panel pretty soon with a 65-inch theater below it, because I do think this 65-inch looks the best. Like proportionately, it's like that. There's enough aluminium for it to be nice, but not so much that you have like a mirror.
It's overpowering, yeah.
And
yeah, I can't wait. I think we're getting it next week. Whenever it shows up in the warehouse, I'm fucking installing it immediately. And we're doing all three variants. You can't say that word nowadays anymore. The 55 on a floor stand, 65 separate, and 65 on the wall, and 77 separate.
I mean, by the time if I live in the US and a 97-inch is available, then we may consider that. But it's just impossible to buy here.
I do really like that the lamellas on the theater goes the right way compared to the harmony. I think I love the harmony. That's the only reason I don't have wooden lamellas on the harmony is I would love it when it's turned off, but I would just hate it when it's turned on. But I really like that the theater went for the Noto design with the lamellas the right way compared to the 18s and the 28 and the 50s.
It matches all. Yeah.
Yeah. If I look back like this, it'll all be in the same way.
Yeah.
If it's on or off, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I like that. I think it was a stupid design flaw on the harmony.
Yeah, but which way would you have done it then? Would you have the lamellas going that way when it's closed, and when it's open, then they are?
I wouldn't even go with the lamellas. I think the lamellas are stupid when you have other speakers from B&O. I mean, at least when you do have 18, 28, or 50s,
Mm-hmm.
then I just don't like the looks of it. I love it when it's turned off. I would do a macro in the Beo Living Intelligence that when I turn on the TV, all the lights will switch off, so I wouldn't see it.
Yeah, I still like it, but I think the theater is gonna be the song of the future here for me. Maybe I'll end up with just like in this goofy little apartment I'm gonna be. I'll probably buy a stage just for now, because I haven't really lived with this product, and it's time.
I think if I would, when I'm going to listen to the theater, and if I agree on that, I would swap my harmony for a theater. I think I would go from 77 to 65 inch, and then I'll do a 65 inch. 65 inch theater on wall.
Wouldn't you regret it?
No,
Going to a smaller screen.
I don't really care if it's. I mean, I'd rather have it look good than look stupid when I'm going through the room. And the only reason I can pull out a 77 is because of the harmony, the whole mechanics of it. So it won't look. It doesn't look vulgar when it's off, but when I turn the TV on, it looks fucking stupid in the living room because it's huge. But it's, I mean, I don't care when I'm watching TV because then I'm watching TV or movies or whatever. So it's nice to have a big screen. But when it's hidden away, turned off, I would like it to look nice. And the 65 inch is the sweet spot of the theater. The 77 looks way too vulgar, and the 55 just looks stupid.
I don't mind the 55. I think 77 has a little too much aluminum on it. But apparently it improves the sound because then it just gives more reflective surface for the drivers to the sides, right?
But the last
But
TV you lived with was
65.
a 55 inch too. Like, if you live with the 77 for a while, or 65, 55 looks small all of a sudden.
Yes, it does. Well, I went from 65 Eclipse to Avant, right? And it was like, shit, this is fucking... We're going from an iPad to a cell phone screen.
I mean, the problem for me on the 55 inch is not the size of the screen. It's the dynamics of the wooden grill and not having the aluminum wings on it, that it just looks unfinished. It's like, oh, there should have been something here, but there's not.
I mean, I personally like that it's compact. It sounds a lot better than a harmony, even though a harmony doesn't sound bad. And secondly, that it's not so goddamn heavy that I can move it with me and not have to worry. I can just carry it in a box.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about if I want to let go of the theater experience or the B&O feeling when you turn on the TV, that something special happens here. I mean, for Christ's sake, this is just a TV with a Yamaha sound thing on it, right? I mean, it could might as well be a Sonos soundbar. I mean, I know.
Now you're being too harsh, bro. Now you're being fucking ridiculous, actually, in my opinion.
Try to understand me right. I mean, I know that it's not, but there's no experience in this, in my opinion.
I think you just had a shitty experience on the reveal. That's your problem.
Probably.
I think you should just go to the dealer and give it a fucking chance when it's properly set up and tuned.
And then there is one thing that I do believe, I said that in my video as well. I think the anthracite version will sell like all of them.
You think so?
Yes, I don't believe that either the silver or the gold will be the top seller. I do believe that it's going to be the anthracite. Because then if you look at the anthracite version of this TV with the dark oak lamellas. I mean, that
It looks sexy.
Yeah, it is.
I sort of agree with you, although I think it's going to be way closer to the aluminium, not quite outsell the aluminium. And I think a lot of people will, like me, will default on aluminium to match everything else.
We've sold 2 aluminium,
but
and
the
one
anthracite looks
before.
fantastic. Like, if nothing else was already aluminium and normal oak, I would probably go for that one too. Yes.
I also think that people that are not from B&O and coming into B&O for the first TV, they're gonna buy the anthracite as well.
Probably, yes. I agree with that. I think the divergence
Yes.
is going to be new customers versus existing customers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
I
for you,
mean-
Mike, like even if you were replacing the stage per se, you could have gone with a black anthracite theater in the bedroom because it's a different room completely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But that shit ain't gonna work in the living room. Like it's just not happening.
I made a bet with some people at B&O, and I hope I'm gonna win. And that was that the anthracite version will sell more in Denmark than the silver edition would.
But the bet is you get one for free.
Nah, the bet is I will get back to that if I win. We're gonna give it a year.
See what happens.
But I mean, what you see on the picture right now, that's the 65-inch gold edition.
Yes.
And that is just, it looks good. I mean, you can't deny that. It looks like an iMac. It does.
Yeah. But that's not a bad
the
look,
iMac is not bad looking.
You know.
I mean, that was a superior design for a computer. Now, apparently, it's also a television. Yeah.
Well, now the average screen size for a computer is also 27 inches. Back when when 27 inch, or was it 28 BeoVisions were around?
Fuck.
I mean, I'm not so sure about the gold yet, although it's not as offensive as it is on other products.
I do really like that you get my buttons on the television or the sound bar. I hate the word sound bar. I don't know why, but
they should never put that in the soundbar category. That should have been a BeoVision Theater. That's what it should have been.
Yeah, I agree. I hate the soundbar thing.
Because what the fuck? Why is there a soundbar with a motorized floor stand and a TV on top of it that could be basically a TV? No, it's a BeoVision Theater. That's what that should have been. I'm sorry that you guys screwed up and put it to a soundbar, but I don't think that this should have been ever sold as one.
Yeah.
I think the problem is well, problem is the wrong word, but they did some market research into the naming scheme. And when you call it BeoVision, people expect the whole experience when everything is sold piecemeal. And then secondly, they are actively working on making it work with other brand panels than LG.
Oh, they did it with Sony as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And some Panasonics too, and
But if you want to use the Beo remote and get the full experience, you need to do the LG version.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they get API access, they may be able in future, but this is a maybe. So this is
I don't believe that. That's never going to happen, because then they need to do it with all the TV screens from Sony, from Panasonic, from Samsung, whatever, and they get software updates every fucking day. So that will never happen. Never.
Should turn that shit off.
Yeah, but you can't say that to the customer. So you can't update your Sony TV, then your remote doesn't work anymore. Then it's going to be a B&O issue and a B&O problem. So that's why they only do it with the LG. I don't believe they will do this.
I would rather have them know that if they it's not that I would do it at the fucking, TV's hanging on the wall now. Good luck, bitch. Like, no, but at the point of sale, I would definitely introduce the option. Like, listen, bro, either we can trade in your Sony, whatever you got for LG to work with this properly, or you're risking this and this, is going to be the pain in a dick, right?
You're right, Willie.
But if you're straight up about it with the client out of the fucking gate, then they know, right? Like, okay, no, I'll do that. I'll take the chance. Well, then take the chance, right?
Preach, brother.
So I
Can I
just
get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be
Ain't
straight
this
up.
the
That's it.
truth?
But since most of these other brand TVs are Android based, wouldn't they just need Android API access, really?
Then you have the different kind of Oreo version.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's optimal, but
No, I mean, I would definitely not go down that route because it's also about Trustpilot. And if you buy a B&O Theatre, if you have an Android TV or let's say Samsung, Sony, whatever. So this is a person that will not go full retard that we do. And this is a person that will buy a soundbar for $6,000, or is it? I don't know how much it is in dollars.
6,500 with Oak.
€6,500. Okay, so the person is going to buy a soundbar for €6,500. Then he's going to buy a floor stand for €3,333,000, and then he's going to put his Sony TV on top, and he's going to try to buy a Beoremote 1, and it works the first week, and then Sony does an upgrade with not Oreo, but something different, Android, and then the Beoremote doesn't work. The first thing he does is contact B&O. Why doesn't my Beoremote? Why doesn't it work? Then B&O will say, "Oh, it's because you updated your TV. So can I downgrade it? No, you can't. Okay, we have to make a new integration with the API, and to know Bang & Olufsen, that will take you maybe 2-3 years. And then they will do the integration with the Sony TV, and they will get very bad reviews on Trustpilot. So please don't do that, B&O." That was a big of a ramble, right?
No, I agree with you, but for some reason they have it in their heads that people are so dead set on other brand TVs in combination with something like this. I do get it in the sort of mission statement of Mozart being
Sure.
like works with everything.
Sure.
But I'm not sure it's the correct choice because it's not like LG TVs are bad in any way.
I mean, they say that we are compliant with LG because that is the best television on the market right now. So that is what we what is that called? We're not expecting, we're not providing, we're
recommending
LG for this. So if you want the fully Bang & Olufsen experience, buy the LG television. I mean, that's a fair deal.
Yeah.
Then you have the people with the Philips and the Hue Ambilight kind of stuff. But who cares? Get those faggots out of there. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's just if you want the full experience with the Beoremote 1 and the fully experience, then you need to be compliant to the white paper, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But I mean, this, as always, B&O has fancy future dreams almost more than actual plans, and they decide to sort of halfway go for it. So we'll see where it ends up. I mean, there is some things not ready yet that I would much rather they focus on than being super duper compatible with a bunch of other TV panels, like the Mozart surround idea.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to ask Willie. So, would you buy the Bellucci edition of the Beosound Balance? If you don't have any comments, then I agree. Then we do agree that you will buy it.
If you can't if you don't make any noise, then you agree.
If you make a noise, then okay, I will of course take it. Okay, that's bought then. No, I do agree. Michael. I do agree. But I mean, it's something that you need to take into consideration that this is a company that provides you with the remote as well. Because I mean, if you buy the Sonos Arcs, the Sonos multi whatever.
Claymore or whatever the fuck they have
Whatever,
now.
and it
Yeah.
doesn't even need to be Sonos. It could be Bose. It could be Yamaha, whatever. Then you will always use your TV remote, and you can always use your Sony remote for this. So, or your Samsung remote for this because of ER. So that's just a standard, and B&O is compliant with this. But the biggest problem here is that what I see on forums is that people cannot use the B Remote 1 because they bought a wrong television, and they're angry about their cane using a B&O product because they want the nice B Remote 1, but they have to use the plastic remote they got with the television, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the general.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did you went down to the store and buy a Bellucci edition of the Balance?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So, anyways, I don't know what the fuck happened with my Skype.
Whatever happened, it's fixed now.
Yeah. So I do understand it, but the problem I'm getting to here is that every time this topic comes up, it's always B&O's fault, which is not right. And I really...
But hold on a second. So what I was going to make a point is this fucking muted is you can still control the TVs with Bio Remote 1 regardless if you just connect HDMI ARC into or just regular HDMI input into the panel, right? You have two peripheral unit controllers in the stage, or I mean the theater. So you can take one IR flasher and put it on the IR receiver of the television and download the puck table to control the external monitor. And then you have the second flasher that you can use for whatever kind of cable box you have, and then you can put in an Apple TV, which works through HDMI, and you can control everything with the Bio Remote.
Wait,
1.
is this the first TV where there's a literal reach around? Where you can flash,
what do you mean?
Like where your solution is you can put the flasher of itself onto itself, more or less. So it all works.
It's the same way like Beosystem 3 used to be when you had the
TVs
flasher.
Today, Willie, the TVs today, Willie, don't have RR anymore.
Yeah, they do. All the LG panels do have IR because we still use them to control 4 sometimes, or RTIs, whatever. Yes, you can use the drivers, but not many people do. So there is still, you just need to have a generic Samsung on-off command, and the fucking panel turns on, and you just don't change the HDMI input on the Samsung. Yes, you lose all the smart nonsense.
You can't choose TV channel, right?
You can choose TV channel from the cable box because we don't have like off-air TV here. So cable box would have been controlled with the second peripheral unit controller.
The problem I have with this is the usual B&O thing. This is a workaround.
Yes.
To me, I don't see it as a workaround because that's how we used to. That's how the Beosystem 3 used to work.
I really think that
Beosystem
this
4
is a workaround compared to what you get.
Well, for Europe, it is because you guys have the cable nonsense built into the panels. We don't.
Yeah, but to take into consideration, if you just bought an LG panel to put on top of it, then
you're fine.
Yeah, so it still works.
But that's, well, if you put an LG panel on it, you're fine. But if you bought a Samsung or Sony TV year ago, it feels bad, right? You got to do that. Or talk to the and again, like, that's a person that already understands they've gone done fucked up because what they wanted is, or they want this, so they have to accept the fact that, like, these are the limitations that come with this purchase, and that's it. It's the same thing, like, you don't drive your Ferrari on a shit road or a gravel road.
It's like buying condoms that are plain.
That's right. It's for her pleasure, right? So
the only beef I have with this is that I know that we in this podcast, we are sometimes, or I am at least sometimes, very aggressive towards the big boat, B&O. But sometimes on they put themselves into these kind of areas when they say that they are compliant with all kind of different stuff, and they have done this for like a lot of years, and everything it has been working very good until we got to the HDMI era. Then sometimes it was like, oh, that's a bit flaky. This probably work. It should work. We can't work. We do a workaround and then it work. When we got into the digital era, it's just different than it used to be, right?
Well,
Yes.
everybody had it easy when the analog times were around, when you had the, coax and YP-BPR cables and VGAs and shit.
Was the only one with sharing sources and providing music all through the house. I mean, nobody was into this at this point. Now you got Sonos, IKEA, you got Denon, Hios, you got all these kind of things. So they just got overhauled from the inside with somebody that's actually better to do.
That's the evolution that's the evolution of technology, right? Like, at the end of the day, now you own nothing and you're happy when it comes to fucking music collection, because most of the stuff, if you have a subscription, you have dig. Like, but whatever you have downloaded on your phone, maybe that you can keep, the subscription is out and then it's all useless.
But the funny thing is that they got overhauled from the inside by all these other companies, because at my parents' house, they have a Sonos soundbar in the living room with a Sony television and an Apple TV, and it just works out of the box. It works all the time. Like, turn it off, you turn it on, everything works. My Harmony with the Apple TV, it's flaky, like one time every 3 months or something. Then I can't move around in the menu with the Apple with the Beo Remote 1. Then I need to either reboot the Apple TV or shut down the TV and turn it back on, something to get it back online. But at my parents' house with the Sony TV, a Sonos Beam, and the Apple TV, it just works.
There we go. This is the page 3 on the BOI is the PDF. I don't know. Where'd you get this?
Places.
Right on. Yeah, I was looking at this document here.
So these are the TVs, Friday, the Samsung GQ, whatever the hell, the Sony XR, Samsung, Panasonic, Philips, Sony.
The frame TVs don't work. I'm gonna make me a coffee. Frame Samsung TV doesn't
lower
work.
Build, Samsung HW, Philips, and what all works and how it works, and the commands that potentially don't work or work. Like, weirdly, I asked about the C9 panel because my panel is still in perfect shape and no burn-in, no nothing. So initially, to not have so many costs, I wanted to keep it. But it turns out the C9 is not officially supported. And the reason being is that LG changed the internal on-off command somehow.
Yeah.
So you can turn it on, but then you would always have to turn on an external source first, as in.
But let me just stop you there, Mikey, and please keep going after this. But that's what I'm saying. That if Sony, Samsung, Panasonic, and all these kind of things change the on-off button, like the command for the on-off, every year, B&O will not be ready with the new on-off button every year for these kind of products. And then they will get
Why are they doing that?
Then they will get a bad review. In my opinion. Please continue.
Why are they doing
quick
that?
Interjection. Philippe says, I'm also not sure why B&O doesn't use CEC over HDMI to control external devices instead of PAC. It does, but not everything is CEC compliant. Like, if you go to your cable provider in North America, no way in hell those boxes are CEC compliant, because that would cost like €2 more to make. And they're just not willing to do that. Like, even the plastic is so brittle, like it's almost like government cheese.
And you have to say that the PUC table is still able to do a lot more stuff than the CEC is actually able to do. The problem right now is that if you want to go into the Apple TV menu, like Apple TV is probably the number one selling media player box that you can set on television. I don't think that that there is anything that is on top of this. And
No.
you still can't go into the menu where you want to AirPlay to let's say a different speaker. You can turn on and off your house if you want to using control. You can't do that with CSC right now, but you can do that with the puck table.
Could you repeat the last sentence, because Willie leaving and joining cut you off for some reason?
The last sentence was
turning your house on and off, and then
you can turn your house on and off with the home control from Apple, the iOS devices, but you can't go into that menu if you're using HDMI CEC, but you can go into that menu if you're using puck table. So B&O is actually further ahead than CEC is at this point, and it just sucks that CEC doesn't control those kind of things right now as they really should, because it's the number one. Is it called a set-top box or a media player? It's a media player, right?
Set-top box or one of them, it doesn't matter. It's the same shit.
But it's still the most sold media player in the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
by a long shot. By a long shot.
The HDMI CC doesn't control it very well.
No, well, the
unless
Apple
you
TV
keep
is
it dumb
controlled
like
flawlessly.
me. Like, I just use it for streaming and that sort of stuff, and I don't use any of the smart stuff, so I never am bothered. The worst I'm bothered by not using puck is that the green button doesn't take you to the home screen, so I just press back like 3 times.
But the thing is that in the next update from Apple, you'll be able to use, let's say, Beolab 28 as stereo speakers directly from the Apple TV without B&O TV. So, but those kind
Like
of
AirPlay?
Yeah.
Come again?
Like AirPlay to them?
Yeah.
Sick.
And maybe even more than that, but I can't really. I will get back to you on that.
I mean, it's only logical that they're working on that.
Yeah.
All of them, because Apple too wants to offer more than it currently does, and I mean, there needs to be a continual reason to buy this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they make stuff better, but like the puck is such a lifesaver in so many places, because
Oh God.
so many DVD players don't only function on IR, so you have to have line of sight otherwise.
Yep.
Or let's say you want your DVD player in a rack somewhere. Like, this puck cable can go, 30 odd meters, something like that?
Oh, more than that, bro. It can go far.
I mean, you're actually more limited by how far HDMI can go at that point.
Like, we've had also like link eyes, if you think about it, same IR receiver, right? Like, we've had link eye cables that were at some point over 50, 60 meters long.
Yeah.
Work no problem. Because you got everything downstairs. And the same thing, like, well, I guess the puck tables, the only catch-22 would have been with like a Avant, right? When everything is on the back of it, or a BB7. Like, if you had a Beosystem 3, then that sits on the rack, because it's most likely a theater setup with a projector screen or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the puck tables, what I like about the puck tables is that that tool is no longer available, but I still have it on my old laptop, that you could go in and modify different puck tables for certain, instances that you would need. And then you could put them on a USB stick and the TV would download them. Now it doesn't download anymore. It just goes to the B&O portal, and that's the only pucks that you can get.
For people that don't know, if you have a device that has IR and it doesn't work and it's not available, send an email to B&O and then the remote, and they'll make a custom puck table for whatever that device is.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of Matrix support, that's not here yet. I mean, I wish they would focus on that more than all the other panel stuff.
There is a tab under stage, a theater, saying Matrix support request. So they have listened, and it's happening. They are working on the Matrix support. I'm certain of it.
Sure, the only issue I have with puck is that it's slower than the CC, and that makes me furious.
It's slower on the Beosystem 3s, but on the Avant, I've never noticed.
On the Harmony and on the Eclipse, it's slower as well. And it was on the 14 and the 11 as well.
14 was a terrible disaster anyways, but...
Yep.
I didn't have like, I don't know how fast you need to fucking navigate here, bro, but I don't have issues with it. I
The
find my
CDC
remote
is
is
just
lagging
the
now.
CDC is just snappy. I mean, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
but
boom.
it's also, it supports like freaking what, 30% of what you can do over a puck or with an
Yeah.
actual remote control, right? So that's, it feels bad.
Yeah.
And you can't fix that because, like, I've tried that here with, like, we put the stage in a client's house with the LG, and the fucking menu, like, it's like this little dot on the bottom that you gotta like click there, and then it pulls up like this clunky guide and DVR and whatever else have you, and it's like, no, this sucks, bro. We're just gonna do it IR or whatever way,
Mm.
and talk to the shit downstairs.
So what about you, Willie? Are you thinking about buying the theater for your house?
Once I'm in Florida, yes.
Yeah. And then you'll use the 90s for fronts and balances as rear?
I have 18s, but I'm actually quite honestly debating on selling them here while I'm
Yeah.
here, and maybe buy a set of 28s.
Okay.
Because I want that. I
That
want
setup
the
was amazing when I listened to it. Holy fuck.
with what, 28s?
No, when I went to see the theater, it had 90s front, 28s rears.
Yeah.
Like, you need to live in a big place to fully appreciate that, or you're gonna have to be okay with your neighbors going, "God damn you!"
Fuck them. It's Florida. It's gonna be all metal and concrete and thick ass windows.
I do love that they finally made some kind of progress with the microphone being able to get the experience of the room. I
Read
mean,
the room properly. Yes.
yeah, you got the one microphone, then you have the two microphones in the theater on the back that will
So it
do the
triangulates.
calibration. I don't really. Maybe you guys can talk me through this if you know something that I don't, because at this event they told me that it was breathtaking and it was brand new and they patented it. They put the true image processor on top of the Dolby Atmos processor, which I do understand. The true image processor was able to take the bass management to the speakers that are more capable of providing the bass than others.
Yes.
But that is probably the same that we know today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the same. Then they talked about, oh, but the true image processor will be able, so if you get an Atmos track, which is 7.2.4, then the true image processor will be able to downmix it to whatever is equivalent to what you have in your living room. And on the other hand, it will be able to upmix it to what you have as equivalent in your living room. But do you know, can you just tell me one surround processor that are not able to downmix or upmix anything? They said this on stage like it was something of a big deal that they patented and it was the best thing ever. And I was like, well, we have done this since the 90s or 2000s.
I think the way that they mean it is the way that it's in our own B&O realm. And that being said, is like, yes, you can upmix and downmix, but I think they also somewhat mean the fact that you have tonal calibration for every speaker in the portfolio since 1987, basically, right? And you also have the flexibility, which does not exist on normal receivers, that you can reassign different speakers to different roles on the fly and change those groups per se, right? Like that doesn't exist.
I think the bass management, as we know, is when we provide it to the different speakers, we do it as this is one-off. I do believe that this is able to do it on the fly and move the bass around while it's playing, which is amazing. That is just crazy.
Well, but like on the regular receivers, like if the setup limitations that, because I've done a couple of them now that I see, is just like if you got a full surround, right, with the Atmos and all that nonsense, like it's got all this shit prescribed. So there's like the high left and right, and then you have the left and right, and you can change them from small, large, or small, medium to large speakers, right?
Sure.
then you got the Atmos things, and then you just turn off stuff that you don't have connected because it doesn't auto connect or auto detect. And you just set up, because that was a theater that was doing, I forget, I think it was a Yamaha amp or receiver with the 90s going into it, and the Lab 3s in the rear. And 90s sound good when you airplay into them, but I didn't find it sounded good in a theater setting at all. Like, it's just, there was too much delay. Then we had to put some boxes or whatever. Like, just a fucking shit show. Not a fan. It worked at the end because it was moved from one house to the other. But I'm like, fuck, man. Like, if I was, the guy's gonna buy the theater later. But it's just like, if I were him, I would have not put up with, especially with speakers of that caliber. Like, I would have had a core at the least going into them to manage properly. So kind of segue to where I was going, but anyways.
How it overlays, I'm not fully aware that they actually said what was correct versus how it works.
Like Christian.
Even Christian, because sometimes these salespeople, they just sort of seem to say what sounds.
Oh, they can tell you whatever you want to hear, right? It's just
because when that IFA thing was going on, somehow somebody said this is the most expensive soundbar, and then the B&O people went, "This is the most expensive soundbar," instead of "This is the best soundbar."
The problem was that I didn't understand, and the guy presenting this wasn't being very open and thorough about it. But why is it? They said like it was the biggest thing ever that they could downmix and upmix an Atmos signal, and I was like, well,
I think this is marketing talk, and you pick up on it because you're an expert at this.
Probably
because most people still have no fucking clue what Atmos is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
that is a good point.
You're a pro at this, and you go like, not really.
Why are they telling me this? Why are they telling me this, man? Because there are men our age that can't screw a light bulb into a fucking fixture if they're left dependent on it. That's fine.
I actually don't know if I can show you this picture, but I just bought a new soundboard that can do Atmos. And I don't know if you can see it. If I should I send it to you or?
Holy shit!
Oh, that's cool. That looks
for you or for studio?
This is for the smallest studio.
That's his office where he sits at home, like for YouTube.
Shit, donkey mushrooms, bro.
Yeah, and then you have here. It's very, very nice, and it's IP based. So it's running on 3 Dell servers.
Interesting.
If you want, I'll send them to you.
Yeah, sure. I'll show them off full screen.
I can airdrop it directly to the Netherlands, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, like so Christian here comes with the explanation. Dolby has allowed us to use true image, which is the thing that's basically what it comes down to being unique about it. That it can work in concert, and they're not like this is the only way, and our Dolby thing must handle everything. You have your own input.
Oh, I need to read that. That didn't make any sense.
He says nothing patented in the up and down mixing part. When you want to use Atmos in a product, you can buy an extra module that takes care of the up and down mixing. And I haven't heard of any product that are using their own. But Dolby has allowed us to use true image, as they can see that we actually know what we're doing.
I first of all, I have to disagree. So, but that's the only of what you know what you're doing. The patented.
I would agree that they know what they're doing with the true image, bro.
Because I mean, I've been living with the BeoVision 11 that could do all kinds of shit, but didn't do it for the first 3 years of it was actually on the market. The up and down mixing part, they said that it was patented on when we went to the show, Christian, in Copenhagen. So that was what I was really curious about, because how did B&O patent the up and down mixing from the Dolby Atmos? That was and I see that you're okay.
Maybe somebody at some point said maybe we should get a patent pending, and then mistook that as, oh, we have a patent.
No. It was a part of the patent about the true image being on top of the Dolby Atmos, and it was patent that it could up and down mix, and it was a patent that the vase amount from the TV, and there was something more. But well, okay.
As far as I understand, there is a patent on the way the vase amount connects in the whole.
Yes, and I mean that is fucking genius. Anyways, it is.
Because within reasonableness, you can pretty much put any thickness TV on there and make it sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of nice.
I sent you a picture, Mikey, on WhatsApp.
Okie
It's just we are thinking about we're doing sports, a lot of sports, and we're in the investigation of if we should provide people with an Atmos soundtrack of sports, if it does make sense or if it doesn't. And we are of course going to do this in all countries. Right now we're doing it for testing, and it's not fun to do, because I mean it's a lot of work doing Atmos for a football, NFL.
But it makes absolute sense, though.
It does. But
so where are you guys placing the microphones, or how are you guys doing that?
On Formula One, we have a DPA microphone, a Danish microphone, on every Formula One car.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And we have ambient microphones everywhere, and we are able to do this, but it is a lot of work, because it's a lot of cars, it's a lot of things that needs to be
that's
mixed.
a lot of inputs, man. Holy shit.
And this is the small one.
How many mics are on the road, like the ambient?
There's like
a few hundred.
2, 4, 5 microphones for every 100 meter or something.
Shit.
Yep.
And how are they connected? Like, is it what y'all running a power link and fucking daisy chain them and shit?
IP based and into a router, and then it's provided around the world.
See, the IT guy that works for the Quebec Sun should hear that, because then he wouldn't really have a say in that there's too many devices, because there's fucking hundreds.
Wait, so is this thingy the sort of joystick you use to put it in 3D space?
There is a joystick on the last fader on.
That's for the golf game, dude. That's
no. That is just to move around all the plugins. But if you look at the last two faders on the left, besides the ball, and then you go on top, then you have actually a joystick that can go like this.
Ah, yeah, I see it there.
And that joystick is where you actually are able to move voices around the house and move. No, yeah, exactly that one.
Formula One, the guy.
They actually when we started out doing 5.1 mixes, our first audio engineer, he's not there anymore, but our first audio engineer thought that when you get like that thump from people kicking the ball, let's put that into the LFE channel. So every time I was watching this, it was just like woof, every time they kicked at the stadium. Yeah, but it's a learning curve, and it's going to be a learning curve to do live Atmos as well. because it's gonna be a pain to do it. But
Wait, does that, if you do live Atmos, does that mean that from the actual live to showing the delay will have to be a bit longer to add it all on?
No. They need to be pretty much on par, on track to do the first mix. Then we'll do the mix. I guess we're gonna buy a true image processor so we are able to upmix it, and then we'll upmix it to Atmos, and or we're gonna get it ourselves and do the upmix, but we're gonna do it live. So it's gonna take some time to get a good product to deliver, because we need to get used to it, they need to get used to it, and we need to deliver that Atmos track to all the countries that we're delivering Formula One to. But this is the first audio mixer that we're going to test it out with. And it's the smallest one that we bought. We bought 2 more that are twice as big. And the one was twice as big, and the last one was a bit bigger. And then
how do you remember what all these sliders are, man?
Because everything is first of all, they're going to take a piece of tape and just get it over from one fader to another and just write on it. But now the newer faders, they have like numbers on them. They have text on it, and yeah. It's called a Lavo something TR56 or something.
Cool.
It's pretty state of the art.
It looks it.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's interesting though. But this is probably why you pick up on weird sound explanations.
Sure. I mean, we're 2 people in Denmark that are actually educated in Dolby in Denmark, so, and I know the other one.
See, next press release of whatever the B&O comes up with, at least half a bottle of wine in you before you go. And you just fucking relax a little bit. Gonna be a little bit deaf too and shit. Make sure you listen to loud music on the way there.
Yeah.
In the car, blow your ears out so you can just sit there and everything's gonna be great again. Have some surstrumming.
Oh no, that's for Eric.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah. So we are going to try to do this now, and I think we're gonna start with Formula One, and we're gonna take the rest of the year just to provide it as we used to in surround sound, and then we as when we do the surround sound in one studio, then we connect it to the next studio to do an Atmos edition of it, and we're gonna try that out for a few weeks.
Well, if you want somebody to test it on at home, I'll have a theater pretty soon with Atmos everything. So, I'll tell you if it's on the LFE channel, because it'll go through the 50s and I'll just go every time.
That's going to be interesting to hear that setup in your house. What are you going to set the theater on? Are you going to mount it on the wall?
Yeah, I'm going to build a tiny faux wall, so I just don't have... Since it's on the market, so I don't have to make Swiss cheese out of the wall with all the...
Yeah.
So it'll be just... it'll be 4, like, sort of lag bolts that hold, like, a bit of faux wall in, and just mount it all to that.
Run cables behind it.
Yeah.
Or do it like B&O, out front. They're going completely the other way now. It should used to be not plugged in, now wires everywhere, goddammit. But
well, at least you can tell they actually did it, and it's not like
Photoshopped a green dot.
Yeah.
Or red dot. But yeah. When are you getting the stage? I mean the stage. See, I keep calling it stage theater. Fucking hell. It shouldn't be a soundbar.
I just have to get in here. The guy presenting the theater called it a stage maybe 6 or 8 times during the presentation, and it was so bad. It was like, and I really like, it was a guy called Martin. I really like him, and he's a very, very nice guy, but he was just like, oh, I don't know what's going on right now. So he was like, so the stage is like the new soundbar, and people was like down in the audience like, theater, for Christ's sake, theater.
Oh God. Oh
so
God.
fun.
Question from
Yeah,
the
I'm having
Twitch
a hard
side. Is
time.
there any lag with all that processing when watching F1? I think there's like a minimum 10-second delay now, but not anything more, right?
You won't experience if you're talking about regarding to the Atmos soundtrack and the video being in sync, it will be in sync when we provide it, but we do need to delay it by, I think it's 1.7 second, and it's already delayed by 10 seconds, so we will just take the 1.7 seconds out of the 10 seconds, so you won't experience anything at your house. Because we already delayed 10 seconds. If you remember Grosjean driving into the wall.
He hit me. He hit me.
And everything went on fire, and we didn't know if he was gonna get out or not. We had to turn all the cameras away, of course.
Yeah.
So you didn't see what actually went on. We got all the pictures and seeing the fire and seeing the car on fire, and we were like, this guy's done. So
when you mentioned Grosjean, I remember the other incident where it was like Magnussen hit me or something when he just drove into the wall himself.
Yeah, but that was like that was behind
the safety car.
A safety car, and he was like warming up tires. He was just like, okay, poof, into the wall. It was just like, yeah, Magnussen hit me. No, he didn't.
Yeah, the 10-second delay has been there for quite a while, at least in the US, because stupid people running up on stages and potentially killing people, and then
it's like, actually more on the NFL.
Really?
I'm kind of not surprised because there's some awful leg breaks sometimes that
and
if you're sensitive to that, where I slightly am, I go like, ooh.
I think on Super Bowl we have like 30 seconds of delay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
why?
For the people that don't watch it, the way that was it Dak Prescott broke his leg, that was pretty awful.
Yeah.
Like his shin went basically that way. It's
opposite way, yeah. Yeah, so there is delay, but on the Formula One in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Baltics, Poland, Netherlands,
UK.
You're not going to experience a bigger delay than normal, because we just going to we are able to take it off in the end.
Nice.
Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I really am wondering how this theater will make the whole Atmos thing sound in my place. I'm really looking forward to that, because like I went over last week, it's almost unfair the way I initially saw it with 90s up front, because the 90s are such powerhouses. It's like...
That's a good way to show them, because at least, it shows that can keep up with the best speaker they make.
Yeah, but it's so hard to like listen to it by itself afterwards, because that onslaught of bass and everything is sort of...
Oh, fuck. It's just there's nothing there. It's like listening to freaking headphones through a Dixie cup.
Yeah. So I sort of like have some like mentally make notes of like, this is unrealistic. Like, don't pay attention to how good this is. Like, it's bullshit. You're dreaming.
Fuck.
And it was a big room, but even with itself in 28s, it sounded pretty amazing. Like, it was obviously nowhere near as powerful, but the room was also really quite large. But then again, what is as powerful as 90s? Like, 90s make your fucking clothes move.
Mm-hmm. And walls.
Yeah.
See, the thing, like, my dilemma is, like, once I'm in Florida and I get to the theater, see, almost at stage. So I get to theater. Do I want to actually sell my 18s as rears and get the 28s in replacement?
I would get two balances.
Unless money is no issue, but balances make more sense.
Balances make more sense?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. I mean, it's a freaking capable speaker that you're only...
Oh, it sounds better than an 18 on its own. Like, if you compare that, like, they'll fucking run circles around an 18 on its own. Even pair of them.
I would pay for half if you take a Lab 5 and put it upside down on the ceiling.
No,
No,
but I'm just thinking, like, what to
I
do.
would definitely go for the balances. I mean, this is total new territory we never been at,
Mhm.
and this
But
is
what I
going.
like is the theater has the wings are going to be polished, right? Which then would match with the 18s in the back, because that's all polished aluminum, right?
You will
Also
be
match
able to
with the
do this
balance
next
you
year.
have.
Well, but this is not polished. Like, this thing is, it's got the same finish. Those ridges, see, you can't really see the reflection in it much. Well, you can, but it's the finish is the same as on the 28s. Like, it's that you can hear that, the grooves. Yeah, it's not like diamond polished as they did the 18s or whatever, or 50s per se.
Can you
So,
tell from more than a foot away?
not really, but I know.
I mean, I
So,
really want them to work hard on this and make this available as soon as possible, whilst not being fully in beta. I'll even happily be in the beta program for this if it helps.
I'd love to.
But I mean, it just makes so much more sense to offer this as a potential rear speaker for anybody that's anyway budget minded. Because I mean, they're not cheap, but they're cheap compared to 18s.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it in the Belucci edition.
The balance
Jesus
looks
Christ.
like ass. No, that balance. Actually, this balance looks the best out of all of them, in my opinion. The Nordic Ice is a little too pinkish. Like, the tones are a little weird. It looks nice in a darker room, like the stage we have in the shop. Like, when there's
Okay,
enough
so
orange light.
I
it
have
looks,
a question, Willie. Think about if you could get with lamellas.
What, the Prestige you think will make something for the
cloth would still be there, but you had the lamellas on top of it. Wouldn't that be sick?
Fucking hot glue gun it over there. I guess that would be something that Prestige could make, like they did for the Lab 5s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying that wouldn't it look more exclusive?
That'd look fucking cool. That's for damn sure. It would look really cool.
I agree.
It would also look really cool if they did the base in walnut, and see, I would just do bespoke, something that matches my 90s, right? Like, I would pay for that. Get the walnuts and freaking put a white cloth on top.
Yeah. I saw one that just put a sock over it, and then it was white.
Doesn't Skinny Play make the balance covers, or no?
I don't think so. No.
No, because there's no seam, right? Like, this thing just is round all the way around.
Do you care about the seam if one side is facing a wall?
I got a seam on my 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, Prestige could do this with the magnets, and they could do the lamellas around it, like they did on the 5s.
Mm-hmm.
And that would look killer on this product.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe B&O will make something like that happen at some point.
B&O will not do it.
No,
that's for sure. But okay, and please excuse me, Willie, but the Belucci edition with the leather and then with smoked oak lamellas on top.
That would look cool. I give you that. You'd fucking pay like 10 grand for it at that point.
Probably.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be very, very nice.
Willie, is your balance non-GVA from the Twitch side?
No, this one has the bollocks in it. The one that I will buy if I'm going to buy a balance, if I buy anything anymore from B&O, it's going to be non-GVA products. I'm fucking done with this shit. You cannot set up. I can't pair a BeoRemote 1 into the level or the balance, for that matter, if I'm not set up on Google Home. It will not allow you to pair a controller.
God,
ain't that some bullshit?
You should be able on the new software. But
dude,
that's
everything's got the latest and the greatest in here. No luck. Like, I had to pair this thing, to the Google Home, which I don't have. Like it's just like I guess my account, right? And then it
But
starts
now
working.
you do.
But now I do. I just call it portable because I had to put the level on it because I couldn't fucking put a remote control on the level. I'm like, what is going on here, man? Why not? Please use Google Home app to finish your setup. Bro, I just want to pair a fucking remote control to my speaker.
The last speaker I had, it said, please open Google Home app to finish setting up the product or skip here or something like this. And I was able to press skip.
Yeah, it does give you to, go to Google Home to set. Yeah, but if you skip it, it's still going to be freaking middle finger central, and it's not going to let you pair shit after that, even if you skip it. Trust me, man.
Are you talking about stereo mode?
No, I'm talking just like pairing a fucking Bluetooth BeoRemote 1 to a level without having the Google account set up on it. It will not let you do that.
I'm pretty sure that you can do this.
Nope. Even with the balance, even on the latest software, I cannot do that. It's not happening. Like I had to put the fucking thing on a Google Voice Assistant, my account thing, and then she took. Otherwise, no remote. It wouldn't even let me pair my phone to it. Just by holding the Bluetooth.
That sounds a bit weird. But I mean, the last product I tried was the Lab 28, and that was a few weeks ago because I had to do some crazy stuff with them. And I could skip everything and pair the remote and everything afterwards. But they don't have a microphone inside of them for the Google Voice Assistant.
But they still have a microphone to tune themselves, right?
Yeah, but they don't have the fully GVA thing
the
inside
chip board, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. That fucking
but I did that 2 weeks ago, I think, and it just worked.
Can you get the 28s in non-GVA as well?
There's no GVA on 28s.
Oh yeah, sorry. What am I thinking? The balance. I mean, you can get the balance non-GVA.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know why we don't have
GVA
that
has
shit.
a non-GVA version, and it actually runs slightly different software and updates and stuff.
Christian, if you're still here, you must be able to collaborate on this matter because I'm pretty sure that Willie is not right on this.
But that's what's happening with my system here, with my
setup. But I'm pretty sure that I did this with, was it a balance or a level? And I said, no, don't connect to Google. And the problem is that Willie is not able to get a balance into his product without connecting it to Google. Then he's not able to pair it with a BeoRemote 1.
Okay, you're totally speaking in Danish English here. If you don't set up a Google Home Assistant on the balance, it will not let you pair a BeoRemote 1 or any Bluetooth product to it. You have got to go through the entire setup. If you refuse that in the app setup, in the initial setup, and you skip when it goes to the black tab, go to Google Home, and you skip it, you cannot pair anything into the level here and the Beosound balance. And I'm not the only one, or am I the only one? So.
Yeah, he says true if it's a GA. Okay.
I fucking told you to buy those. So
he can't say that. He didn't say that. Nobody said that.
I fucking told you not to buy those. No, I like that's what I'm kind of caught with this. I'm like, and do I really need the GVA?
No, nobody does
nowadays. Well, I fucking did when I was living in my apartment because I got used to this talking thing. Yeah, I had the little dildo, right? That because it was before the GVA became like cancer that spread through all the B&O products. So. And I live with it, but I don't get used to the fact that, well, I don't have a gateway anymore going on right now, so I don't have to yell at shit.
Google in the GVA models. Yeah.
Okay, so that's right.
That's why. Anyway, I'm showing this picture in the hope of one saying, imagine if your TV theater is on the other side and this is your rear speakers. that actually looks nice to me. I know
Sandeep
some people
hates it.
will. Yeah, I know, but it's if you say,
I like
"Oh, that's a nice lamp-looking whatever," good. It's incognito because it's a speaker, and I kind of like the look of like Beolab 12s. They're sort of not easily recognizable as speakers unless you're into B&O.
Mm.
It looks like something from IKEA. I still have to say,
Bro, those things paired together sound absolutely amazing.
yes, but it still looks something from IKEA.
Yeah,
I would say it's more or less, to me, it doesn't look like it's like the Muto design. It's a different...
IKEA sells these on their doors now too. These slats of wood up and down. So maybe it is the IKEA.
You never know. It's the fucking modern's modern, bro. It's just you can't go away from it, and it looks good.
Swedish pride.
So I like it. I really like the finish on this balance, anyways.
On a totally different level, have you guys ever had where your speaker is like too hard to carry because it's so heavy, and that you need a dolly?
Sure.
So
Yeah,
Amazon has this crazy dollies, right? Because with a maximum of 500-pound weight capacity, because some things are just so heavy you'd rather roll them, like a Beolab.
So what are you saying? You just like invented a hole in a donut, or what the fuck is this?
Here, they have a dolly for a Beolab 20.
What?
So it has a
Dolly
500-pound
for
maximum weight you can put on him, or you can put a Beolab on it.
That's a big ass Beolab 20, man. That's the size of like a Coleman camping fridge.
Yes.
It like runs on 2-car batteries and shit. Takes
For
2 people
moving
to carry
heavy
it.
objects.
Yeah. I mean,
That is so funny that they put a freaking like what?
Hang on, I need to screen grab this. Best thing ever.
Oh, that's
this
a
is
good
an actual
pic.
page on Amazon, and this is their own pictures they put up. I don't know why. I got this from somebody in the Discord, so thank you. But it's fucking hilarious.
Of course, I don't think it's a joke. I think it's some intern with Photoshop that just found something like, oh yeah, that looks like what would heavy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They just
You're right,
Photoshop that shit and,
you're right.
Boom.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, oh, this speaker looks very heavy.
Yeah.
Don't
They didn't even
mind
know
the
what it was.
Don't mind the leather strap. It's just a heavy product.
Fudge. Yeah, that's funny.
I love it. And it got 360 rotation and low noise as well.
Yeah, B&O should have made a dolly for a Beolab or a Beolab 20.
David, B&O actually made this once. They patented, and then they tried to... No.
They hung it up. They hung it up for good. That's funny. But yeah, it's...
That's funny. I like it.
Fucking find this shit.
It's in the internal chat if you need it for later.
I do. Thank you.
Frame it. Frame it.
God, it's so bad.
I love it.
Yeah, I wonder what's the next color scheme that they'll... Because I don't think the balance is going away. I think Do you think the A9 is going to reach its end of life after 10 years of being in production?
Yeah, Mark IV, probably. Eventually, everything will be Mozart. Does that mean the design will go away? Not necessarily, but it is awfully strange that they're pushing the A9 on the main website so hard.
I don't
probably trying to get
believe
it
that
stock.
A9 will be here next year.
You think it's it for it, eh?
Yeah, I think that this is the last push to get it out, because I don't believe that they're gonna have the A9 as is today with the new platform. They need to reinvent it. So I do believe this is the end.
Get yours while you can.
I mean, the Mark IV is actually really, really impressive, and I
Yes.
like it a lot. It's it would be a shame if this design goes because it's such an icon.
I think they will do the same kind of speaker, but in a new framing.
Hopefully they don't come up with some freaking Edge 2.0.
I don't
Or
think
some
so,
other
but I
nonsense
think
fail.
they will do something that will look Noto-ish design.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that this will be here next year.
I think you could be right. Yeah.
It's been around for a long time, man. It's on the fourth gen. Like that's.
Do you guys remember the old iPad speaker that
Yeah.
Oh, the
was on the
A3?
floor stand? I
The
think we're
A3.
gonna see something like that with the Noto design, with lamellas and some curves and stuff.
Is
But
Noto
not for
now
an iPad.
basically the house designer of B&O at this point?
Seems like it almost.
I'm not sure it's official in any sense because they do occasionally step to other people, but and like the level was Torsten,
Mm-hmm.
but Noto is doing an awful lot, and I don't mind it. I actually like their designs. So
I'm a bit more into Torsten, if I have to say so.
Says the guy that has a shape designed by Noto behind him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think out of all the products that there are out there right now, I would still call the shape my favorite. After the 90s, of course, because you can't compare. But I love the shape. It's just such a giving speaker and a piece of
I
art.
totally agree with you on this, Willie. But I'm just looking overall the whole spectrum of what we have of products.
Mm-hmm.
Then I Torsten is more my kind of thing. But yeah, shape is also my go-to. I mean, I don't. If I should take one product away from Bang & Olufsen to just keep, it would be the shape. Always.
Mm-hmm.
who designed the harmony? Was that Torsten?
No, I think it was Christian Grub
Let's have a look.
with side order of Noto. I'm thinking.
Torsten. Yeah, Torsten for the harmony.
Was it him? So he's still involved.
Yeah, I mean Torsten is a bit more David Lewis-y, classic B&O type look.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love that look. It's just...
But he's also able to take the old aesthetics
new.
into a new kind of thing, compared to Noto, which is like, oh, I've seen this at the stand of Yamaha. Let's do a B&O feeling kind of
that's
thing.
harsh. I don't agree with that.
I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes.
Take 3. Shit. That's funny. No, I don't think it's that bad. I think Noto's doing very good. I actually really like what they're doing.
I mean, as for the picture, like the harmony actually looks good with Noto Design 28s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it mixes and matches well, in my opinion.
Yes.
A lot of people don't really like the balance, but the only really questionable design to me was the Emerge. The sort of book
the router
speaker thing. It's the router. Well, I mean, you sort of get it does sort of look like a semi folded open book.
Yes.
So it's a unique view on a bookshelf speaker where it looks like a book. But
I don't know. I've never heard it, so I can't really comment on it or say bad or good about it. I just never heard it.
If you're okay with a background speaker that just does background music, never does loud party music, then it's a perfect product if that's what you're after. But even if you expect M3 style loudness, then you're not getting it.
Oh wow, yeah, no. Because M3 is just enough to overpower the shower water, like in a stall, that you have a clear ability to hear spoken word. Because music doesn't matter, right? But if you're listening to news, like you want to hear shit that it's being said, and the M3 does
News
it
it
very
may be
well.
able to do because it can go that loud because there's next to no bass in it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're listening to music under the shower, like you're better off with an M3.
Yeah,
So
M5's too much.
yeah, and it
It's
starts
funny
In the
because like
dancing by
shower is
itself.
Beosound 1.
Works too.
yeah, I had that in a bathroom. I didn't have enough countertop space to afford anything bigger than an M3 in my old apartment in my bathroom.
I mean, an M3 is more than enough on a bathroom. Or
Oh,
the
God.
Celestial Dual Tweeter. That will be pretty cool as well.
Yeah, because you can get just like you can get those grills individually, right?
Yeah.
Because man, they're expensive though, like $700 each. That's a little fucking wow.
It's still not a floor stand or a wall mount for a theater, right?
Yeah, bro, but like, okay, so if I put 4 speakers as Atmos, right, and I put these Celestial Grill ass covers on them, I'm what, $2,800 in just aluminium,
Yeah.
and it don't fucking move.
The cool
But
thing
you'd
about
hope it don't, because that feels bad. It's good. That's gonna be falling.
the grills that are actually coming with the product is that it has an aluminum grill around it, like a cover, but then you're able to actually paint the color of the grill to match your ceiling if you should
No,
have
but if
blue
I were to go
ceilings.
with the Celestials, I would go with those intricate ass aluminum covers. You know what I mean? Those that have
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah. I'm just talking about the Celestial covers that comes with the B&O logo.
the paintable ones, basically.
Yeah.
Hmm.
With the aluminum
Trim ring.
trim ring. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen those. I didn't even think that they existed, or didn't know that they existed.
I have a few out here. I can take a picture if you want to see.
Mm. But I like those. Those are cat's ass, man.
Of course, I do too. Especially in anthracite.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
a gorgeous.
anthracite?
Yeah, that's a gorgeous color. Some dealers have them, some don't. But if your dealer has Celestials, ask if he has a display of the anthracite ones and go see it in person, because like the picture really doesn't match reality. Reality is so much nicer.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy.
that is a very hard thing to like. This grill, there is no picture that I had seen that actually conveys how beautifully crafted that thing is.
No.
It's just there is no fucking way other than you seeing it with your real eyeballs and looking at it, because like those patterns, man, like that's just trippy how they come out.
I might have a video on a boat where these speakers are everywhere.
Sweet.
Nice.
Also outside.
No shit.
So you could actually just walk in and thank you.
I'll trade you in for a floor stand.
But yeah, those are nice, man.
Yeah, very nice.
Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm gonna install some theaters with my dealer, and I'm gonna take my camera with. Is there anything in particular people want to see, or that you guys think I should really show off? Because I have some
I would
ideas.
highly recommend, before you start putting it all together, depends on what you guys are mounting it on, watch the fucking videos. He's got access to them. Watch the videos. It is probably the most involving setup, especially the wall bracket. One of the most involving setups I had ever seen.
Because
Like,
I take it it's no
Steve-
longer that square block that you just mount and then everything comes off.
well, it's a block, but then like that piece that you hate, Henrik, basically covers the rail that holds the entire substrate. It holds the entire TV up top. because that's how you put the sound stage or the theater on
Yeah.
on this bracket thing, and then you assemble, like basically you build it from the bottom up,
I would, yeah,
and then you put the
I would,
aluminium thing.
I would really much like to know the sound of the motor mechanics from the wall bracket and the floor stand. Does it sound as bad as it does on the Eclipse and the Harmony compared to the BV11 where it was just, or the Avant where it was just dead silent? Or if it said something, it was just like a nice sound out. But on all future product from the Avant and the BV11, all the floor stands and all the wall mounts that are motorized sound like.
I agree with you on the BV11. I've done a few of them on the wall, and it is probably the loudest mechanism that B&O had ever made.
Wait, are we talking walls brackets
wall
movement
wall
or
brackets.
floor
Wall
I'm
stand?
just talking about everything after the Avant. After. Like the Eclipse, the Harmony is very, very loud on all the motoring.
My
I'd
dealer
have to look
has an
into that.
Harmony on the floor stand, and that's dead quiet.
I would agree with you, Henrik, because what I remember when I had an Eclipse and I would move it around, like especially when you shut it off and it's parking itself,
Yep.
you can't hear the stand move. You couldn't hear it on the Avant.
Nope.
The only
And
thing I remember from my Eclipse a bit was that it was so light, if it stopped, it would sort of
wiggle.
You could hear that movement more than anything else.
Yeah, the crinkling of the panel because it just kind of wobbled. Because
But I mean,
6509
everything before that you couldn't hear it, and it will just like just went into place.
I'll have a listen for that. Kind of interested because I haven't had a rotating floor stand for a while. So.
I mean, my biggest issue is that my installer installed the Harmony on the wall without. There should probably be some rubber thing between the wall bracket and the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, put some felt pads so it doesn't transfer the vibration.
But they didn't. So right now, when you're turning on and off the Harmony, it's like the whole house is like ooh, looking like a table stand going up and down.
Oh, that's crap.
Yeah, it sucks. Because my Harmony is like Vlad says, not dead silent at all.
No, the ones we have in the showroom, I can hear them turning off. Like I can hear the mechanics go down.
Well,
it's not that it's loud.
This
I
movement,
sexy,
yes,
but
makes noise, but
I
the
don't
floor
experience
stand
it when I turn it on, but when I turn it off at night and my wife is at bed and my kid is at bed and I go in after watching some porn or whatever, then when I turn it off, it's like, and then when it goes together, it's like again.
Yeah.
Like this is over exaggerated, but I mean, that's
you
what
can
it does.
hear it. Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to listen again if people say their Harmony version are loud.
Mine is.
I mean, well, the up and down movement makes some noise, and I can hear some of that in mine. But
yes,
but
I do have
the
to
floor
say
stand rotating at my dealers that I've never heard.
The 65-inch is louder than the 77, and the 65 is louder than the 77 because when you get some weight on it, it's better. If you take the 83, it's better than the 77.
It's because of the spring mechanism on the inside.
And the 88 is better than the 83.
And when you have the Mark 1 springs, it's the opposite.
Yeah, but I have the Mark 2.
Yeah. But if for people in chat, if you have the Mark 1, it's quieter with 65 than 77 because in the Mark 2, the difference is really like 4 springs that are like this large, but they're so much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had those replaced because at some point, maybe I turned it on and off, or maybe it was just shitty metal in the springs, but there was this point with the original springs with 77 that it didn't do with 65-inch wings, where it would come up and then go.
Mm.
Oh,
and that
weird.
It dropped down, but it was fairly quiet. Like you couldn't. But if you looked at it, it was like, hey, he dropped like a centimeter out of nowhere.
Hmm. Interesting.
So had the springs replaced, and it's been fine ever since.
Should we make a bet?
What?
When do I get my Halo remote back?
For what? What did you send it out?
But what's
It's
this?
only been 4 months.
What's the side bet? That it will still rattle, or that it'll be okay this time?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about if we could get a bet going somewhere. I mean, I have been missing it for 4 months.
Where did you send it to?
My dealer.
And he probably had to send it to Germany.
He got it back from B&O, and they said that it was within
The tolerances.
the tolerance, and then he was trying to do something else.
What? Open a whole bunch of fucking remotes and see which one doesn't rattle to give you one?
I don't know.
How do I shut this guy up? Fuck. Okay,
I'm just thinking, how do I get a remote back?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a gold one we have that doesn't rattle.
Can I get that one?
No,
Can I
I
buy
wouldn't want it. Probably, yeah. You can buy Mikey's. Mikey wants the rattling one.
I just need something on a wall that doesn't rattle.
Mine doesn't rattle. I don't know why. The
But
ones at
is
my
it on the
dealers are
wall?
fine too. Sorry?
Is it the wall mounting?
No, it's the regular.
Oh, I have one of those as well. I need one on the wall that doesn't rattle. If there's a B&O dealer out there just listening to this, I have paid for one and I don't have it right now, but I will pay for another one. If you can
Doesn't your
get me
dealer have the original launch version? Because those don't rattle.
I know, but they don't have those anymore.
Yeah, but surely he has one on the wall that's been there since launch.
Nope.
Sold it.
Yep.
Smart.
Oh, total side note, by the way, the new versions of LG, which I saw coming back to your white paper idea, if you turn the CE2 versions of panels off, it now displays a giant logo with LG. But you can turn that off in the menu. But the display theater I saw, like every time it turned on, giant LG logo. Turn it off, giant LG logo.
Mine actually did this a few weeks ago. And every time I turn off the harmony, it moved back and then it stopped and then it showed the LG logo and then it was like, oh, okay. And then it kept on going. And it did the same when it turned on. I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's hidden in a menu, but again, this should be in the setup white paper thing.
But it is being activated by
LG.
software updating your TV. So you need to deactivate it again. And actually, B&O sent out a update for the Harmony and probably the Eclipse 2 to actually deactivate this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure because, I mean, most of the people that had these issues don't have the issues anymore.
Yeah, well, so it's a can of worms because you have a client that just like accidentally factory resets his TV. Boom! Now you got that LG shit coming up again, right?
First, when I noticed it was I turned the TV off. It went halfway, LG logo, and then back on. And it was just like fuck. Turn off. LG logo back on. And I was just like, what the hell is going on?
So you can't turn your TV off, basically.
I did a power recycle and then I figured out that there was some software points in the menu that was off, that it shouldn't be activated or something. It took me almost 30 minutes to figure out, and I was on the way to go to bed, so I was pretty pissed about this, actually.
Fuck.
You know what you mean? Yeah. When the last software shit happened to the 28s, it took me 3 fucking hours when I wanted to go to bed.
To pair them back together, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to bed defeated. I fucking hear you.
then you should be very happy that you're not on my software version on the 28s.
Yeah. Oh, once I got it fixed, it's like off. No more updates. Fuck off. I'm done
Mine
with using.
are fucked, like really fucked, and they've been for 3 months. I think.
What happened? What's happening with them?
Are they on beta or on the normal?
They were on beta, and then B&O and I agreed that we need to take them out of beta because they couldn't see what the problem was. But mine is clicking, like
the
weird.
motor is open, but it wants to open more, or
no. The speaker is clicking. Like there's something mechanical inside of the speaker that is clicking.
Oh.
And they think that it is the switch between PowerLink and VISA. And it also happens when you're just listening to music without VISA. So it happens when the speaker is turned off. Then it's just like sometimes.
Are they on VISA or are they wired?
They're on VISA.
Yeah, VISA bad.
Yeah, but it happens everywhere. Let me see if I can find.
Maybe that was the ticking I had in the 50s originally.
Start another podcast, Henrik.
No. That's not gonna happen.
Do it on a Saturday.
Now I'm out of the beta version of this, so I'm not gonna get back in. But I mean, I sent the software or a video to the guy that actually do the software for this, and he's looking into it. But it's been like 3 or 4 months now, and it's. I mean, every time we watch TV, Heidi's like, "Oh, now it's clicking again." Yeah, I know. It sucks, but at least it's only 90,000 Danish kroner.
Yay!
Shit.
Well, mine have been pretty much flawless, other than every time there's a software update, it unpairs themselves and it becomes awful.
Like they click a lot. I can try to find the video. Hang on.
I totally believe you. It probably sounds like a Halo when you're walking with it.
No. It's actually worse. It's actually worse.
That is so weird.
It is.
Quite a few things died in your Beosound too. How many things can die? There's a power supply of like maybe 2 boards.
Apparently there was a mystery software update to a version that didn't exist and also not within B&O. So one of the EPROMs on it died, and then the volume control button and the touchpad on top.
So just fucking swap it for a new one, for God's sakes. Like,
I have it right here. I will put it into your. Then you can just stream it if you want to. But this is the sound of my 28s. I took a GoPro camera and I put it in front of the 28s just to show how it sounds.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is what I hear every day, like multiple times a day. And they can't take it out of. They took it out of the beta and put it back to the stable release, but they can't get this specific board back into stable release because it's been in beta. That's what I heard. And this is from June.
Yeah, it sounds like one of the relays flicking over.
Yep.
Weird.
I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like there's some clicks that's going on, and they don't know what it's doing. Which kind
Christian has one or both speakers?
It happens on both,
Oh, good.
but not at the same time. It's like then the left speaker is like, and then 2 minutes after the right speaker,
Weird.
and then the left speaker, and then the right speaker.
Do you have them on power links?
No, Wise.
Both Weisse.
Have you tried running a PL cable just for the like surface run to
No,
experiment?
because I took all the Powling cables out of the walls.
Smart move.
Steve will be mad at you.
Probably.
Wired
But I
is
would
better.
I would just borrow the couple fucking PL RJ45s or Cat 7s and just pop them in and see what happens.
Sure, but I mean,
I'd-
it's not a.
It's
Why
not gonna
should
be
I
pretty.
be the tester of this?
Because you took the PL cables out the fucking wall, bro. You're gonna pay for that.
But why should I use my time on testing those?
Well, then pay a monkey to come in there and do it. It's cheaper for you to not do, like, I don't know, whatever the cost offset is, whatever you make, you know, is your time worth not fucking around with it?
No, I just want something that works, and it doesn't.
So you
I mean,
gotta talk to your dealer.
The
I
problem is
would.
that I bought Bang & Olufsen to begin with because I wanted that's something that just worked. And I guess that this channel is provided that from something that doesn't work.
Sorry.
And I'm like,
There you go.
I mean, I started my channel with something that didn't work either. And then I met you guys, and now we have a lot of things that doesn't work.
My shit works, no problem, bro.
My shit works.
That's right. Anyways, let's end it on a positive note. Our shit works. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Blame Denmark. Like and subscribe. Go like and subscribe to Henrik. And see you all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.